Hi, my name is Renee. This is my van. It's a Ford E250 and it's a 2006. I built this van out myself. I'm going on to my third year now. I only have this open during the summertime when it's warm, but I'll show you for now what I do. I put my stove, and this is my outdoor cooking area, which keeps the heat out of the van during the summer. And I will show you my easy quick watering system here. This is for my washing water only. So for dishes, for washing myself and that kind of thing, I use that for this. This is Jake. Say hi, Jake. Say hi. The reason why I chose to live in a van was partly because I ended up getting sick about just before or just during the pandemic, and I was in a really lucrative job that paid well, and all of a sudden I found out that my wage had just been cut in half, and I couldn't afford to pay for rent as a single person and being, on my own and looking after myself. So I thought this was the next best thing. I had already been thinking about doing it, but this just pushed it, sooner than what I probably had planned to do it. So it's worked out really great for me. I have just a double-sized bed, but I sleep from head to toe this way, so it is enough room for me. When I want to stretch out, I do have to go a little sideways, but it works out well. And I guess I have all my clothes in bins along here, all my food in these cabinets, and dishes. It was a hutch actually that I picked up just on a marketplace, and so it had another layer on top of it, so I just cut it off and fit it in, and it's only 14 inches wide, so it was perfect for a van repurpose. And the rest of the wood I used elsewhere in the van and repurposed it somewhere else in the van, so it's mainly under my bed to build out the around the wheel wells and stuff. I used it for that. I did it very frugally. The things that cost me the very most were getting my electrical system put in, and I did have somebody install my heater for me, my diesel heater, so that I wasn't confident enough to put in my diesel heater. I could do it now because I seen how it was done, but it was nice having somebody else do it for me, and then I feel at ease that nothing's going to go wrong are terribly wrong with it. So when I want to cook, it is a little bit cumbersome sometimes, but depending on what I'm making, I have a butane stove that I pull out here, and then I just place it on this countertop here, and I have this up top to help with condensation so it doesn't enter into the wood so much, so that does help. And even when I have my little imitation jet boil, or it still isn't, it doesn't hit the top, and it's far enough away it's not going to catch anything on fire. So it works out perfectly if I'm just boiling water for like coffee or anything like that. I love it. Living in a van with Jake, well, it can be really fun at times. He actually is a good friend for me and keeps me company. He can be a bit of a handful sometimes because he wants to go outside, and he will let me know when he wants to go outside. So I do let him out to explore a bit. He's adapted to van life really well, because at the beginning of van life, or just when I was thinking of doing it, I got him when I was ill, and so at that time I took him into my car and took him everywhere I went. So he got used to that. He didn't like it at first, but he's okay with it now. He loves the adventure of moving around and seeing where we're at, and he does recognize when we go to the same place. So yeah, it's interesting having him as a pet in this van, but great. Also, this year I won this off of Emmy's page off of her YouTube channel. So I was the recipient of this, and this has really changed a lot in here. I'm able to have a toaster now. I also have an air fryer, which I can run for a half an hour, and it doesn't use up too much of the energy off of this, so it's great. But that has added to the van nicely, and I can stay out in the country or countryside or out in the bush for a lot longer now, so that's just expanded what I can do. So I'm so grateful to get this Blue Eddy. How do I charge it? For now, I just have to plug it in. So whoever happens to have a plug-in or the access to a plug-in, Brent from Bent's Vanlife, he's been helping me out so far, so that's great. But I do plan on getting another solar panel up on my roof, just designated for that for the summer. And I'm still kind of pondering whether I should get the Blue Eddy charging system that is out there, the new one, because I just want to see how it's going to work for everybody first, and if there's any hiccups in that, and I might purchase one of those. Before I got into van life, I lived overseas, and I was in Kenya for 13 years. About, I think, 11 years now, almost 12 years ago, I came back and got into the work field, and then that's when I fell ill about 3 years after that, and then that brings me to today. So I have always been kind of adventurous and wanting to just explore the world out there. So now it's my time to explore Canada. The heater that I have in my van is just a diesel heater, just one of the inexpensive diesel heaters out on the market. I have had a bit of, not a huge amount of issues with it. The second year it did stop working because the fan gave me a reading, and I changed it out, put it back in, and it's been plunking away ever since. So it's done me good, and yeah, I'm happy with that. It keeps me toasty warm in here. Van life has changed me in a way that I didn't know that I could do without some of the things that I had in my sticks and bricks. I always lived simply, but this even made it more basic. The benefits of this lifestyle are I've made some amazing friends on the road, and I just love that most van lifers are like-minded in some degree, but we're all different. We can learn from each other and glean from whatever we know in van life. And I love sharing what I know, and I love hearing what others have to say as well. And it has helped me a lot. I probably am an introvert extrovert kind of mix, and I just never mingled a lot, but I mingle a lot more with people around me now, and I have a lot of great friends in van life. I'm really thankful for that. Well, how I insulated the van was I have Thinsulate on underneath this board, or I don't know what you call it, the proper term for it.
Tongue and groove pine.
Yeah. The tongue and groove pine, I have Thinsulate underneath that. On the sides, I used hardboard as well as just the regular insulation, because as you know, vans are shaped weird and you can't put hardboard everywhere. So I just filled it in where I could, and that's how I did it. And then I also put a membrane around. I know some people are probably going to go, no, don't do that. But it's working for me. I haven't had any issues, and I'm really toasty warm in here. Some of the challenges that I've faced in van life are probably more that because of my disability, I can't fix things like I used to be able to. And that is more of a mental challenge than a physical challenge at the same time. But I do ask for help, and I always get help along the way. And I'm so thankful for that. But yeah, that's probably the hugest challenge for me, and worry about just not being able to fix something. But I have managed, so I'm proud of myself for doing that. Well, for my storage, I have Rubbermaid bins, gray bins, about yay big. and I have about 6 of them down there, and the rest I just fill in with other things like my tools, extra food, and I don't really have a lot that I pack around, more like chairs for summertime and stuff like that, but I just, what you see is what I have. Advice that I'd have for anybody wanting to get into van life is go out, get onto YouTube, and watch as many videos as you can about absolutely everything that you might want to do in your van, because there are so many ideas out there, so many things you can do, and just grab whatever you want to grab. Get a notepad out and write down what you want in your van, because when I thought about getting into van, I wrote plans out and I changed my plans a million times. But anyways, and I still would change them just because oh yeah, that idea, that's great. I might put that in my van. But yes, it's just get out there and ask as many questions as you can to YouTubers out there that know and have been out there on the road for longer than you. Another thing that I did do just recently is I took out my front passenger seat to give me more room. I haven't been able to build anything in that spot yet, but the litter box for Jake fits there really well. So for now, that's where it's at. And I'm going to think that through before I build it out and see what I can do there and be, inventive with that. My fridge is here also that I might want to mention. It is on rollers, so it rolls out. I don't know, maybe I can show you guys. I need to change out the rollers on it, but this is how it opens up, and nothing fancy about the fridge. It's a set power, and it's worked really good for me. I wanted to get the combo one, but they didn't have it available at the time, and so we're just gonna stick with this one until it gives up on me. I always say this at the end of my videos: go out there and be the best you. Never give up on anything, and always give something of yourself to somebody out there, because you never know the impact of that. And literally, there has been people in my life that have said to me, Renee, what you did then for me, it really impacted me. And I never gave any second thought about it when I did it at the time, but it did impact them. So I always am eager and happy to do anything, most things for somebody out there. Viewers can find me on YouTube. I am on YouTube. I'm on Instagram, not so much Instagram, but YouTube is my main thing that I use. And my YouTube channel's name is BU Vanlife.